We got GDP coming up in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Alright, let's turn this music down. Let's get ready for this thing to do it. We got 1 minute. There it is, 8:30. So we're going to see how the markets are going to react to this GDP print. We can pull it up here real quick. See what they give us. Alright, so they were expecting, well, the Atlanta Fed was expecting a 3.1%. We got 2.6%. Let's see how the market takes that. So the dollar just liquidated a 12-hour swing high right there. So if you want to get short the dollar, that would have been the spot to do so for a liquidation break. Expecting this last little rally here being the pump into the news. S&P 500 bouncing off a 4-hour support down here, 38.26. Basically, we were watching Bitcoin this morning to come into support because you are in an uptrend for the last several days. The uptrend started Friday, and it's been pretty much going up. So when your price action is bullish or for the order flow for the last several days, you want to look for trades in that direction, as those typically will be the ones that work out more often. We did liquidate the daily low. So on Bitcoin, this was the day low. And then we put in this. Excuse me. What we were watching was an hourly or an intraday support, if you will, right here. That was the area. Oh, no, sorry. This one over here. My bad. That's the level that we were watching for potential support. 20553. Wanted to see if we got any closes under it. I mean, you could potentially say that that's a close under, but you know, it went right back up. So that was the area that we were looking for longs this morning. I told people to put their stop below the low of day. Hopefully they put it well below the low of day. If they did, then unfortunately they might have gotten stopped out. I have no idea where price is ever going to go. So, I mean, yeah. I didn't want to see this low of day get taken out because I would have expected we would potentially see more downside continuation, it being a pullback day and all. But here we go. USDCNH, we're going to go ahead and take this long, and we're going to use the high of day to manage our risk. So if we were to set that up, we would go ahead and market order in. We want about 80 pips stop there at a 1% risk. This way, if you lose any, or if it's wrong, you will only lose 1% on the trade. Well, it's going to be a little bit more than 1% to get the stop above the high of day. So what I'll do is I'll just move the stop here just right above the original high of day. So this was the original high of day, or the previous high of day, if you will. We just liquidated that, and now we're back under hourly resistance. So if this is going to be a down day on the USDCNH, that is the Chinese yuan, we are up at levels, well, you're down essentially at levels on the yuan that you haven't seen in a very, very, very long time. Look at this over here on all-time data here on forex.com. You can see that you're well above these highs. So that means the Chinese yuan is probably trading at pretty close to lows, you would imagine. All right, so here's the monthly. It's just been skyrocketing. Same with the Japanese yen. There's a lot of stuff going over there. And then yesterday we had a nice big kind of, it's not necessarily a blow off day, but it is a very big down day after what was a very large liquidation bullish candle. So if you were expecting more bullish continuation, you would have not have wanted to see this low taken out, and that red day took it out. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for this bullish day to trade up. Right now, you're roughly around the midpoint of yesterday's range. So right there, if I pull up the fib, you can't see it because the stop loss indicator is also orange. But you can see right there, that yellow line, that's the 50% retracement. So that's retraced 50% of yesterday's range. That's, it's the midpoint. So if, that's always a big fat, right? If it's going to go lower, then this is a good spot for it to do so. If you get stopped out, you lose 1%. A little bit more than 1% because the stop loss wasn't exactly 80 pips. This thing is a little bit different than your standard Forex pairs. You can see here the spread on this is pretty wide at 9 and 12 pips. So yeah, that's that. That's one trade that we're looking at. We're already short USD JPY. We got short USD JPY on Friday. That trade is working out fantastically phenomenal. So if we go back over there, we'll pull that one up briefly, just to show people who are new to the stream. We took this short Friday when the DXY liquidated the previous week's high. We were looking for a liquidation break move, and we got it. This was the best Forex day trade I have ever taken in my life. It was a freaking nice one. I have already taken off 2 lots of profit on this move lower, and I'm going to leave this one lot on for the rest of the time, essentially assuming that this could potentially be the top on the dollar. If it's the top on the dollar, then I want to position myself at the top. If the dollar catches a bid, or if the Japanese yen continues its descent, then obviously I will be stopped out. But if it does, if this was the top, if that was a blow off, then I can expect to stay in this position for a couple months, maybe even longer. We'll see how it goes, but that's that. And the Chinese yuan trade hadn't panned out until today. Today's the day. All right, so if you want to catch some dollar weakness, there's a good chance for you to do so on the yuan trade. Now, this could be a day early. What you could do if it doesn't end up working out today is watch it tomorrow. And then the place to watch for potential entries tomorrow, either during the London session or during the New York session, is you would be looking for a push above today's high. And that would be the area to look for shorts. All right, tomorrow. I do believe that you can look for shorts. That was a pretty big down day yesterday. When you have those big down days like that, typically you want to look for continuation. So the S&P 500 spiking on that GDP newsprint all the way up to the midpoint, at the point of control of today's range in this blue box. That is your entire daily range for the SPX or the E-minis, if you will, the futures contracts, not the SPY. Naturally, this is the futures contracts. High of day is going to be right there. That wick, that's going to be your high of day. So long, you'd typically be wanting to target the high of day, looking for the daily range expansion back to the upside, expecting today to just be a pullback. DXY, like I said, liquidated a 12-hour wick, so there wasn't really a main level for us to watch here. I don't know that this is going to continue to go lower. It could absolutely turn around and go higher. It is very bullish on the day. You can see here, you are pretty damn bullish today, getting pretty much around the same place. If you were to fib yesterday's range, you're going to be coming in around the 618 retracement of yesterday's range. Typically, if we want to see continuation, since it's been going down since Friday, we would want to see that downside continuation, and we would want to see it somewhere from here. All right? It doesn't mean that we will be right. Trading is not about picking the right direction of the market. Trading is about managing your risk for those days that it doesn't work. You cannot see into the future, therefore you do not know if your trade will ever work. Nobody does. I don't care how good they think their strategy is. Actually, there's probably not many day traders out there that have the consistent hit rate that I do. So there's maybe a couple, but even them, they don't know what price is going to do. That's why they have to use the stop loss. All right, so let's see what's going on over here. If they did know what was going to happen, they would never have to use a stop loss, would they? All right, so Bitcoin is pushing back down to that hourly support. We don't want to see this lose this level. If it loses this level, since we did make a fresh daily low, that does kind of mean that, the weight is to the downside today. So if it ends up being a red day or a pullback day, that's okay. We can watch price tomorrow and see what happens. We are getting pretty damn close to the end of the week. If you were here on Tuesday, you know that I got long on Bitcoin expecting this to be the weekly low. And guess what? It was. So yay, I did it again. Woohoo! Just kidding. That was the weekly low, and your week expansion has been to the upside. So getting long right there, 19.2644 was a damn good place to get long. That's not in hindsight. We did it on Tuesday. All right. So that's what we have here. This weekly range looks fantastic for more bullish continuation. I had a couple people ask me in the Discord, what is my bullish price target? Well, my first bullish price target would be 21,799, as that is going to be weekly resistance. I don't know that we get up there, but if we do get up there, I do suspect that we will see resistance. Now, something very important transpired on Tuesday and yesterday. We got above we got above the previous October high. So that right there was the high for the month of October. When you're bearish, you expect to make fresh lows. We have made a fresh October high. That is bullish. It's the opposite of bearish. So what we did was, or what we want to see coming into Sunday for the spot market, is we would love to see Bitcoin close above on a weekly closing basis last month's high. If it does do that, then that gives us a little bit more confidence for that $21,831 target. If you are on a swing trading, if you're on like a swing trading schedule here, you're probably going to be looking for the monthly resistance, and that target puts you in roughly around $23,307. I don't expect it to get all the way up there. This is a bear market, and I do expect the high to come in sometime pretty soon, but I do want to see it find support. That's what I want. When you position yourself long, naturally you want the market to go up, but the market is bearish right now. As far as I'm concerned, as long as you're trading above monthly support, $19,985, you can look for longs. If you're back under this, then you will look to sell swing highs. So is this a selling opportunity? It damn sure is. All right. Now, the thing that you got to understand is you have broken out. Okay. This is a legit breakout. And if we were expecting this near-term trend right here to continue, you would have expected it to get above it for a little bit, liquidate any swing highs, and then roll back over. That isn't what transpired. What transpired is the breakout. So you broke out to the upside. The bears have had ample opportunities to push this market into fresh bear market lows, like they did on the SPX, like they did on Dow Jones Industrial, like they did on the NASDAQ. But they were unable to do so on Bitcoin. So that has to lead me to conclude that there's probably a lot more buying going on down here than selling. And if there's a lot more buying going on down here than selling, then we want to get long for the move, right? For the move to the upside. So that's what we've done. That's how we've positioned ourselves. And that's what we're going to continue to look to do. So it'll be good for us for the dollar to pull back, get off of these highs, but we'll see what happens. Once again, if you're just joining us, we had the GDP number today. And you can see here that it did come in at 2.6. The Atlanta Fed had an expectation of 3.1%. So the forecast of 2.4 was actually closer to in line. GDP here, the last couple prints have been negative. This is for Q1, 1.6. Q2 is 0.6. And typically, or used to, I should say, before the Joe Biden administration, anytime you had two negative quarters back to back, that meant recession. Now they have a new definition for recession, I guess. And I don't know what those qualities or what qualifies a recession. So that's a positive gain there. All right, 2.6. That's positive. That means there was positive growth for Q3. All right, that's good. It's all good. Good news. Is it enough? No, it's not. Here's a tweet right here. Even if it would have came in at 3.1%, that's still less than 11% nominal. As forecasted by the Atlanta Fed, there is a 0% chance of a pause, let alone a pivot. All right, so a pause would just mean they are changing the rate at which they hike rates. So instead of rate hiking, 75 basis point every Fed meeting, it drops to like 50 or 25. That's what people are considering a pause. A pivot is when they change monetary policy completely from hiking interest rates to lowering interest rates. That is dovish. So if you hear people call the Fed hawkish, that means they are in a period of rate hikes. And when they are dovish, aka quantitative easing, well, not necessarily quantitative easing, but kind of sort of, when they're dovish, they are lowering interest rates. So what they're basically waiting for is for inflation to gently find its way back down to 2%. Inflation is at 8.2%. So what the Fed wants is for this to come down from 8.2%. Let's get off log. From 8.2% down to 2%. So what the Fed wants to see is they want to see lower lows and lower highs on the inflation number. This is what we've been talking about for the last several freaking months, guys. When we did this from this 8.5 down to 8.3, then the next month we got 9.1. That was a scare, right? That really freaked us out because that's the highest it's been in a long time, right? Long time. Since Thursday, April 1982. Long time. This is a monthly chart. Sorry, this is a monthly chart. I should have said that. But anyways, they want to see this, right? They want to see this. Higher highs and higher lows. Lower highs and lower lows, right? That's what they want to see this thing start to do. And if that starts to happen, then we can look for bullish entries on risk because risk will more than likely find a low. Has it found its low? Well, we peaked in June on inflation. We peaked in June on inflation, and we also bottomed in June on Bitcoin. Now, if you look at a line chart, this did make fresh bear market lows. So that's important to understand. Also, here is a line chart. If you see here, the June low was taken out right there. Right there. All right. So that is a liquidation break, if you will, essentially. Also known as a Wyckoff accumulation. Same principle, right? The market's in search for liquidity. The liquidity was down there. But unfortunately, on a candle, the low was made in June. So if we peaked on inflation in June and we made a low in June, then we can expect the market to do what inflation does. That's just how we've been looking at this. Does it mean that I'm right? Absolutely not. You got a lot smarter people out there that know a lot more about macro fundamentals and stuff like that. And they are still very bearish. All right. They're still very, very bearish. I tend to stop being bearish when everybody is bearish, because typically everybody is always on the wrong side of the trade. Like in November when everybody was so freaking bullish and we started to be bearish, I always want to be in front, if you will. I want to be the contrarian. I want to do the opposite of the herd. So on Friday, we got a little bit of news that said that the Fed is probably going to slow the rate at which they're hiking. There is a 75 basis point rate hike still for the 2nd of November, which is going to be next week. We will get that FOMC on Wednesday. We will be streaming during that as well, as long as the internet gods allow it. We will be streaming that. So we will see. Today was a little bit, worse on the S&P 500. Bitcoin not pulling back. It basically found August or October's high as support. So that's essentially where it pulled back here. If I come over here to the high, the earlier October high, you can see that today's daily candle on Bitcoin wicked down to it right there. And that's basically where it is found support so far. So far, this can change. The problem is that we are in a bear market still, so we have to keep that in the back of our minds. We can't get uber bullish here. The problem with taking a short trade, so like if I was expecting this just to be a bear market rally, I would be looking to short this rally, right? Where would I be looking to short it? That's the problem. You're in the middle of nowhere here. There is no technical level to make that decision off of, save this August 22 swing low right there, right? That is basically the only level that I could see. I don't know if I would use that as a level to short from, but now we do have a level to watch. If you are a bear and you think that this market is going to roll back over and that this breakout is a false breakout, then you will be watching 20775 moving forward. If you want to short the market, $20,775 is the level at which you would be watching for potential shorts. And today, that's the level where we are finding resistance. See how that works? All right. Trust me when I tell you guys, you do not need all those indicators and nonsense and garbage tools to help you make trading decisions. If you trade the way that I trade, you're going to have razor sharp focused entries with fantastic stops, and you're able to basically maximize the profitability by simply using a shit ton of leverage. All right. Leverage will cut both ways. If you don't have a successful or profitable trading strategy and you use a lot of leverage, you're going to blow your account. If you do have a very successful trading strategy like I do, then you can use a lot of leverage and make a lot of money. All right. So that's what we're doing here. We are currently long. We do want to see 4-hour support hold on the SPOOs, as that will help Bitcoin get above this resistance. Once again, if you are looking for shorts, $20,775 is the level to watch. If you start closing hourlies above it, then naturally you're going to have to wait until the market gives you a sell signal. A sell signal would be a pretty nasty bearish move back under it. All right. Is there a short to take today? Yeah, probably. I mean, if you can't close an hourly above $20,775, if you think that this bullish phase is just a bear market rally, then yeah, that's probably what you're doing. You're looking to sell the highs. You are looking to sell the highs. That's how you become, profitable, right? Each time you get a peak, that's where you're looking for your entries. But remember, the Bears had ample opportunities to make this drop, and they couldn't. And now you're breaking out. So I think the Bears are on their back feet here. I think they know it. I think the Bulls are going to see a little bit. I think you're going to see higher prices. Will we see higher prices by the Sunday close? I don't know, right? I don't know. But I do know that you're in the middle of nowhere. You're in the middle of nothing. You have broken out. This is a breakout. Boom. Nice breakout. A retest of the trend line. It was also weekly support. That's why I got long, where I got long, and why. Not the trend line. Trend lines are very subjective. You use objective support and resistance, and your trading will get so much better, right? So you've broken out. You're above resistance. Last week, closed above resistance. That's a tell, right? Until you take out the low. So closing above resistance is you have to lend credence to the bulls because you closed above resistance. You took out resistance until the low of that breakout candle is taken out, making what some people call, it basically makes this candle a trap is what it does, right? And then you can look to sell any pushes back up into the old support level. That's where you'd be looking to get short. But what happened this week? We opened up above. We traded down Monday and Tuesday. That's why we got long. Right into support. Up, see daisy, it goes. So I think the Bears are pivoting here. I think they're on their back feet. That is why I have a bullish target of $21,800. That's the next weekly resistance. Therefore, bullish target. Close, up in here would be fantastic. A close back down, not so fantastic. All right, this is that monthly support. This is the level we want to see Bitcoin stay above. Monthly support. As long as you're above that, you can potentially have a bullish target of 23,307, right? Doesn't mean it'll get there. No. It just means that that's the target. So those are your two bullish targets, your only two bullish targets that, in my opinion, you can have. Can you have a bullish target up in here? Why not? Sure, go ahead. Will it get up there? It's not likely. We operate in probabilities and likelihoods, okay? That's how trading is. That's what it is. You're acting in likelihoods and probabilities. That's why we use current levels that we already have, not future levels that are unlikely. I do want to get the we have the DXY here. I'm going to keep this thing up here. This isn't what I want to see is a close under. If you did take the USD yuan trade with me, we do want to see a close under this. We got 4 minutes until that happens. All right. So I do want to keep this on the monitor. How's everybody doing today? Now we've ran through everything and everybody's up to date. What is up? It's a fantastic day. I do like to see positive growth, even though we're in a terrible macro environment. But we're traders, so this stuff matters to us. It is important, right? Lovely. Good mornings. I'm going through the questions in the chat real fast. I watched all of your educational videos yesterday. Good stuff. Thank you, Eli or Ellie. Sorry, Ellie. Thank you very much. That is awesome. I appreciate it. Hopefully you gain some kind of knowledge that can help you moving forward. Aaron, my man, what's up, everybody? Good mornings, lots of good mornings. BTC spiking around, it sure is. Are you still of the opinion that the low is in? All right, so trying to say that the high is in or the low is in, yeah, it looks good on Twitter, sounds good on the YouTube videos, but what good is it, right? Like, what can we gain by thinking the low is in or thinking the high is in, right? As a trader, I want you to change your mind, change the way you think. We don't give a shit if the low's in or not, right? If the low isn't in, then that means my long positions will get stopped out and I will reposition myself to the downside because I would expect that low to get taken out. But yeah, I mean, if like I showed earlier in the live stream, if you put it on a line chart, you did make a fresh low. And it does look like the Wyckoff springboard pattern. You know, those pictures that everybody posts on Twitter. I'm going to pull one up here. It's not my tweet. The dude's name is on it. But trust me when I say this, you can Google and get any Wyckoff accumulation or distribution schematic you want to get. All right. But here you go. So this person is basically saying that what we have here is Wyckoff accumulation because of this pattern. I mean, yeah. This is a line chart, so not a candlestick chart, right? It's a line chart. And like I showed you earlier with this swing low right there, you did take out all other swing lows. So one could argue that this is that liquidation break, but on a much larger time period, right? And naturally, he's looking for all of this stuff up in here and then for much higher prices. But that's not what it says. The chart could agree with this, but you don't have just random targets. And for the real bullish phase to even really take off, you would need to see much lower inflation. You would need to see a dovish Fed. You would need to see a few other things, right? Before you could assume that accumulation schematic is going to play out. So since I'm a day trader, I'm taking new positions, not on a daily basis, but on a daily basis, I'm looking for new positions. I don't take trades every day, but I do look for trades every day. So I use the targets that we've already got, right? That's just much easier when you do it like that. Your targets will get hit more often than just random targets like that schematic. But yeah, one could argue that the distribution pattern is playing out. I got long I got right here. That's when I decided to get long. As long as we were trading under monthly support, I had a bearish bias. But when I noticed that, Bitcoin was having a very difficult time to get bearish and stay bearish, to get continuation, right? It was unable to do so. That makes me a little bit more on the bullish side. But naturally, it could just need more supply in order to push it lower. And the market, when it goes up like that, it's looking for supply. That's why it's going up. It's not offset by too many buyers. It's looking for supply. It's looking for sellers. It's going up to find supply. It's found demand here. Demand exceeded supply here, hence price trades up. That's why you get these random spikes that look like, wow, why would anybody buy that and then lose their money there? It's because that's not how the market works. The market's going up looking for supply, and it found it. Right back down to demand it goes, and then it stays at demand just sideways continuously for a long time. Naturally, one way is going to break. It's either going to break down or it's going to break up. And since you couldn't make, lower closes on a daily basis, up is the only other direction. And it's been sideways for 4 months. So we've been sideways already for a while. Still sideways. This is still sideways. The only thing you've broken out is above resistance, right? Resistance. Whichever way you want to find resistance, you're above it now. Next resistance, like I said, is going to be 21,831 and then 23,307. Those are your next two areas to look for reversals if you are a reversal trader. All right. What is the next Bitcoin support? Where can we look to see if it holds to add longs? Well, we got to see how this week closes. So, the only support that we currently have is the one that it traded down to. So you would have to look on a smaller time frame to find them. You could potentially watch swing highs. That's resistance, though. It's not support. And oftentimes resistance does act as support, right? But not always. Support is support. Resistance is resistance. That's resistance. It's not support. Can it act as support? Yeah, it can. There's another one here that could act as support. But as far as supports go, there isn't any. This is support here, right? So what I do is I go into smaller time frames and I look for those bearish candles, and that's the support. It will be support until you get a candle closure under it on the same corresponding time frame. So since you don't have any daily or 8-hour supports, there's a 4-hour support right there. So potentially that could be support to look to add to longs if price gets there. All right. If it gets there, you can see that we didn't really have any support on Bitcoin because it was breaking down. So that broke down from there. So that support was broken. And then the market now has a support of 206.34. So you'd be watching on a 4-hour closing basis moving forward. A 4-hour closure under this could suggest that you're coming down to the resistance level first, then support. Right? The market's likely going to find an area that has more confluence. Oh, there's also a 2-hour plus 4-hour support, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's two different prices. So find those support levels that have multiple confluences. Those are the support levels that I like better. As of right now, that's here. So until you get an hourly closure under 205.33, yeah, it looks like support's holding for the intraday, near term. The dollar is trying to push up here. I should get that stop above the high day, but I already entered the trade, and that would make me at about a 2% loss. But that's a good close. That's a great close. That's what I like to see. But it still looks bullish. It still looks bullish. So we'll give it some time to play out. If it doesn't work, it's okay. I'm already positioned very well. Oh, yeah. Shit. Almost forgot. Yesterday, I took a short trade on CAD Yen. We didn't do a public live stream. Yesterday. So this was taken just in the Discord in the Forex room. But my short entry was yesterday. So naturally it was this candle here. That was my short entry because that was the daily open. So if we go into this real quick, I'll show you how I took the trade. Yesterday morning when I was sitting in my office, I come to the desk at 6 a.m. That's what time I get to my office. That's my desk. 6 o'clock. So I seen here that this was the daily open, and I was looking for downside continuation. All right. Because this is CAD Yen. We also had a Canadian dollar rate decision yesterday. Okay. So they come out more dovish than the market wanted them to be. The market wanted to see them rate or hike rates a little bit higher than what they did. They wanted 4%. They only did 3.75%. So the market took that as very, very bearish. I took my short entry right at that white line, as that is the daily open. It was also intraday resistance confluence. My short was right there. I put a sell limit there. I got filled when this hourly, which was the 8 o'clock candle, pushed up. 8:30 was the news, and then boom shakalaka. This is a fantastic trade. I took profits on this candle here. I moved my stop to break even, and I left 1/3 of the position size on to catch any downside continuation. So if this wants to continue to go lower, then I will be positioned here for it, which is, an area where it was naturally finding resistance at because it is an old support. So there's your support. There's the breakdown. The next day you did not retest it. So this was the first time that level had been retested. I mean, this was way up, but it did not liquidate this swing high. And then you had that BOJ intervention. down. So that's going to be resistance, and this was going to be resistance here, right? Why? Bullish closes are resistance, guys. Resistance. So I would have been looking for bearish entries there. And since we were trading at resistance yesterday morning, that was my short entry. So I've already taken profits. So even if price comes all the way back up here and stops me out, I have already been paid on the trade. I have already banked cash. It is mine. Mine, and I'm not giving it back because I'm stingy. But that was yesterday's trade. So even if today's trade doesn't work out, no big deal. Pretty much until this morning, I was 7 for 7. 7 entries, 7 victories, starting Friday to today, or yesterday, sorry. So I will feel a lot better if we start to trade away from this level. The longer we trade at the level, then naturally I would feel like my stop is going to get taken out. All right. So that's going over everything. I just want to keep it real with y'all so that way you know that you're listening to someone that knows what they're talking about. So yeah. All right, let me answer some more questions. But yeah, Will, I think the low is in, but it doesn't mean it is. It's just an opinion. That's all it is an opinion. And I've positioned myself for the bullish trade. And, so far since Friday, that's been the right trade. And that's all I do on a consistent basis is I try to get on the right side of the market. I never know if it's going to be right. I try to. It just so happens that the strategy is pretty damn good. All right. What's the next Bitcoin support, right? 4 hour. Watch 4 hour support. That's down here. If this breaks down, I would look for, rounding down in this area. It's bouncing from last area. Morning. Good morning. So we are long now, or what? Now we got long this morning here. We got long this morning here. We're not taking a long now. No. The only opportunity that I see for a trade on any market is the USD yuan. And I don't know that it's going to work either. It's very bullish. So when I'm taking short trades, I don't like to take short trades on assets that have a ton of bullish momentum in the day, inside of the day. So like if I'm looking for an entry on Thursday, I don't want Thursday's candle to be freaking momentous and bullish, right? I typically want it to stall out at a resistance first. It kind of did. But the London session was a buy. So a lot of times if you get continuation for the New York session, what you're looking for is a test of support to get long, to look for that continuation off of the London volume. Every now and then New York will come in and be like, no, London, you're wrong. It's going lower, and change the directional bias of the daily range. As of right now, the daily range for the USD Chinese yuan is bullish. You are bullish. You're up almost a whole percent. Very aggressive and very volatile Forex markets we got here. Very. Right? Very. I've been looking at Forex pairs and a lot of them has been up a whole percent. 0.3 to 0.5% is a typical Forex range, daily range. When you're up a whole freaking percent, that baby is moving. It is moving, right? So it's not the best trade to take because of the bullish momentum. I'm only taking it because I am 7-0 for the last 7 trades. So I have money I can afford to lose. I don't know your financial situations. I'm not telling you to take this trade. You can if you want. Just make sure you understand your risk, right? Understand why I'm taking the trade and understand what I'm risking, which is just a little over 1%, right? Not a big risk. made a lot more than 1% this week. So I can risk 1 to 2% and be wrong. We'll see if it plays out or not. All right. But Bitcoin hasn't really been as volatile to the upside. It was up pretty good yesterday, up almost like 3 point something percent around the end of the day. But you know, the dollar's been pretty volatile here lately. So yeah, I'm not telling you to buy Bitcoin right here because you're buying it into potential resistance, daily resistance at that. Shit, over here. Oh, you know what? That might be a better area to look for shorts actually. Because that is an old daily resistance. And that's where you bounced off. That's probably the better price to look for this short trade to play out if you haven't taken it yet. 726818. But we'll see. I got to get that stop above that high. So that's going to make me risk a little bit more. Not even 2%. So I'm good with that. All right, beautiful. Beautiful. Not even 2%. Perfect. That's what I want. Because just a random fling on a 5-minute candle could stop me out. Doesn't look like it wants to be bearish, though, does it? Let's see how it plays out. Supply on the 5 minutes going to be 7262. We'll see if that holds. But yeah, you don't want to get long up here. You wanted to get long down here at support. You're into daily resistance. That is daily resistance. You bounced off of it. So naturally, I don't want you to get long there. Down here, you could have, because your risk to reward would have been the low, depending on how you took the trade or how you positioned yourself or where your entry was. But this was the trade, right? And then we just try to get it 2-to-1. That was the trade, and there was a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So if you did take the trade this morning at support, you should have taken profits already. All right, that's beautiful. That's what we want to see. All right, let me disable this on there. Let me go up here real quick, just to kind of. Oh, I know what I can do. I can go into the announcements in the Discord here, because I posted in the announcements. So this morning inside the announcements channel, I posted this in the Discord. If there is demand up here, real demand in the market, it will find support. 20,554 is the level to watch for hourly closes. Getting long here for bullish continuation isn't a terrible trade. Stop low of day, as a fresh low of day would mean a deeper pullback. Sellers are definitely trying to find the top, as noted by the red lines, the points of control for this morning and yesterday. Let's show you what I mean. Here we go. So I'm going to pull up this. It's the point of control. You can see the red line. That's where the most volume traded yesterday. Today, this is where the most volume traded. So since the red line is closer to the top of the daily range, that's selling pressure. Or retail buying the highs, which is never good, because this is where professional traders such as myself are taking profits. So if I got long here, I'm taking profits up here. That makes me a seller up here. So you got a lot of sellers at the top end of the ranges that are, because you got new shorts looking to take entries and you got old longs getting out of trades. So you don't ever want to be a buyer at the top of a daily range. You want to be a buyer at the bottom of the daily range. So you want to look to be a buyer around the open if it's going to be a bullish day. This is the open today. It's acting as resistance because the price range is down. So when the market opens, you get a couple candles looking for liquidity. stopping out both sides of the market sometimes, not always. And then the direction happens, right? Boom, 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 boom. So today's bearish. Naturally, you got professional traders looking to take short trades at the open. That is also daily resistance. And there are people out there that believe that this is just a bear market rally. And since they believe that, they are taking short trades there. All right. Can you take the short trade there? Absolutely. If you were going to be short, that's where I would want you to do it. Right? Is there. I don't know if it's going to work or not. So make sure you don't risk a whole lot of money to find out, because that typically is how you lose money. But, if you do this consistently, your entries, you will catch the right side a lot of times, and the money that you will make should outweigh the money that you've lost on the losers if you're doing it correctly. But don't take the long here. This is where people are starting to get short, my friend. So that's also why I'm telling anybody that did buy support, you should be seriously thinking about taking at least 2/3 of the position off here, because you're back up at the open of the day. Okay. And if it's going to continue to be bearish for the rest of today, there's a high likelihood that this is where it does it from. That just simply means if it's going to go down today, this would be the place where I would look for that to occur. All right. Am I a short bias trader? Am I looking to get short here? No, my bias is bullish. So I'm looking to buy off, low as possible on each daily range from here on out until something happens to change that bias, which could be just a simple, really big down red day. That would probably have me switch my bias to bearish. I'm too scared. That's okay. I understand. That means you're also probably trading with too much if you're scared to take entries. Taking an entry should be nothing to you. Then so should the loss, right? The loss. This should be absolutely nothing to you. If you're scared to take the entry, you're risking too much money. I am never scared to lose a trade. When I lose a trade, it's nothing to me. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I do not care. Because I have a spreadsheet that shows me that I'm profitable over time. So I know I'm going to nail right trades, even if I have no clue what the directional bias is, just by freaking trading this strategy. Just by looking for the high probable areas. That's it. That's actually the highest probable area to look for a short trade for today. If you expect today to go lower. Now, there is something else that could occur. You could have a liquidation break. You could go all the way up, liquidate yesterday's high, then roll over. So there and then there are the only two places to look for short entries inside this entire daily range. That is it. If you get above this, you'll wait for that. If it doesn't get up there, you miss the trade or you walk away. But I don't suggest you look for shorts, but you can. Right? You can. It's not, we got 8 minutes until the open of the stock exchange, right? When the New York Stock Exchange opens, there's going to be a impulse of volume, and it could be sell volume. So if you took the trade this morning, please take profits. I did take the trade. Okay, so let me just go over here real quick and tell you my entries. So my entries on the USDC side is 18,740. That was the first long I took. 18,740. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't USDC. That was the coin. I'm sorry. That's the first entry on Friday, 18,740. And then the second entry that I took for the long trade was 19,238. 19,238. Those are and then this morning's entry, this morning's day trade entry is 24.97. So 24.97. So right in here. Right in here is where I got long. So yeah, taking profits. I'm gonna set at 40 uptick. I should have already done this, but I'm gonna try for 27.01. 27.01. So let me take profits in batches. Click off the stop loss. And I want 207.01. And we want 70%. Failed. Oh, that's because price is already there. No, it's not. You lied to me. Sorry. Let's try 704. We want 70% of the position off, as that just takes all the risk out of the market completely. All right, so I have a take profit set because, like I said, sellers are likely going to show up here in 5 minutes. I don't know which way the directional range will go, never, but I can use these levels to basically give me an idea of what I think may transpire. Morning, dogs. Morning, good morning. Is there a separate Discord from the Patreon membership? No, it's through Patreon, but there's separate tiers on Patreon. If you use the Patreon link, just make sure you read the tiers. There are 3 tiers. The second tier and the third tier give you access to the Discord. Second and the third tier, both of the higher tiers gives you access to the Discord. I do a once a week live stream on Sunday mornings for the $5 tier on Patreon or channel members. Every Sunday we do a live stream just for them. And sometimes we take entries. A lot of times we discuss what we're looking for the week to come, but occasionally if there's a trade to take, we will take it. Oh my God, the comments in the chat were a lot further lower. All right. But no, it's same. If you joined on the low tier, you don't get access on the first tier. It's the second tier. Good morning. Good mornings. I think the high 69K for Bitcoin is in for now. Yeah, I think you're right, Tatanka. I think you have a high likelihood or a high probability of being correct, sir. For sure. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like, guys. Yeah, if you don't mind, that would be good. I was supposed to mod somebody. Air Yorfin, if you would. I don't know what your name is in YouTube. I think you told me. If you're Air Yorfin in the Discord and you hear my voice, just tell me who you are and I'll mod you. But yeah, if you guys don't mind, smash the likes. I appreciate it, naturally. Most YouTubers do. I don't consider myself a YouTuber, though. So I guess it really doesn't matter. I'm on YouTube, so I guess I'm a YouTuber. But yes, please smash the likes. I think you are at the high for now. Yep. Hey, brother, have you read any books that have helped you get to where you are? No, I studied and struggled for years to get to where I am. I read no book. Well, I mean, I read a couple books, but I wouldn't say the books necessarily helped me to get to where I am. It was just a lot of work, determination, and a lot of failing, a lot of struggling, a lot of failing got me to where I am now. Yeah. But naturally, there's a couple good books like Trading in the Zone. That's a good book. I've read it and listened to the audio book. It's a good book for traders, by Jesse Livermore. And there's a few others. But I can't, I can't tell you that they're going to help you to get better. You just have to do it yourself. You can do it. It's within every individual to do this. It's just that risk management is so crucial, and people just they don't do it right. We are risk managers. That's what we are. That's what we're doing. All right. We are risk managers. We find levels that we want to throw out a little bit of risk at and see what happens. The Patreon link doesn't open where I live in Dubai, although I use it normally. Is there an issue with the link, or is the invitation only? I don't know. You can email me, Ellie. If you want to come in the Discord, there are other ways around it. You know what I'm saying? Around Patreon. I have a couple members. I have one member that paid for a whole year worth of access at once, with Tether, right? So I mean, I'm in control of who gets the links from the Discord server. So just email me and we'll work something out. If the Patreon doesn't work, the Patreon is just easier for me as far as managing who should and who shouldn't be in the Discord, right? But the Patreon screwed me over. They did an update to where now they don't keep track of Discord names. So I'm probably going to have to change everything around in the future. I'm going to have to make a website and do it that way or something. But for now, if you want access, just give me an email. It might take me a couple days to read it, but I will read it and I will respond. Just tell me who you are. Just tell me that you're Ellie from YouTube or whatever, and we'll go from there. All right. This thing just flipped out on me. Yeah, all right, perfect. That's where I was. Got it. I got long since you tweeted it. I got my affirmation there, or then. Nice. I've been trying to get better at taking profits, but I sold my 19,300 position doing so. I've done that a few times myself, Drew. It happens. Sometimes I've closed out whole positions on accident, not meaning to. I done that on a real good one once, and it really upset me to no end. That's just part of it all. Fat fingering orders, taking too much risk on accident sometimes. There's a lot of things that can happen, for sure. That's just part of the business. That's just part of it. You're going to make mistakes. You're definitely going to do that. It's just part of it. Can you look at Ethereum? Yeah, let's look at it. I own a little bit of ETH too. I think it's going to do whatever Bitcoin does. Right? And it has. Wow, this has been a much nicer breakout though. Yeah, I mean, you're all the way up into the next weekly supply. Yeah, Ethereum has broken out, and it has broken out so big that it made it all the way to the supply zone. So this is potential supply on a weekly basis, right? Because this week, people were buying, and then naturally more sellers came in, and boom. So this is an area where we would look to see if more sellers shows back up. Yesterday you closed under it. Today you're still struggling with that price. But I think you're probably going to break out soon, right? If it holds here, 932, so we got volume now. If this area holds, this is probably a good area to look for a short trade, at least back down to support, right? So like you could get short here and aim for here and get a 2-to-1 risk to reward out of that easily. But remember, I do not have a short bias. So when I don't have a short bias, I don't take short trades just looking for bounces. You can, but I don't do that anymore. I try to stay on the side of the trend. I am a trend trader. And if there is no trend, then I am a range bound scalper. But right now you have potentially a new trend. So what you want to do is you want to look for supports to buy, not necessarily resistances to sell. But if you do have a bearish bias, you're into an area that is going to act like resistance. Does it hold? We don't know. There's also a daily supply area there. So you got double confluences of supply, weekly plus daily, right there. That is why it stalled out here. A lot of people getting short here yesterday evening and into last night, all the way up into the close of yesterday, because then you kind of got away from it. But yeah, that's the level at which I would be looking for shorts if I had a short bias right there. I don't know what it's going to do today, and this is very bullish. This right here will just get FOMO people in there. You know, FOMO is real and it works. This big bullish move right now has people buying the very top. They shouldn't be buying up here. They should have been buying down here, and us this morning down here. You should never be buying the top, ever. And if you don't know what the top is of a daily range, use this indicator right here. This shows you the daily range. Go into settings, all the way down here. You're going to see this shaded box, the histogram box. Just make it darker so you can see it. And that's your daily ranges. That is your open, high, low, and closes right there on each day. Today you're trading as an inside day. Naturally, you got to take out yesterday's high. And if you ask me, yesterday's low compared to yesterday's high is much closer to price. So this is likely the target. Doesn't mean it will get there. I'm just saying where it currently is, it looks to me like this is the target, not this down here. But people are selling it. They have been for 2 days. Right? So if you don't know, you know now. Okay, well, this is the day we're in. This is the high of the day. So I don't want to be a buyer up here. I want to be a buyer. If I want to be a buyer, I want to be a buyer at the daily lows. Lows. Now, naturally on this day, this was a very tight range. But there's the low. So being a buyer at that support would have been the trade to make. Now, please don't tell me that this is hindsight, because this is how I trade, right? I'm telling you how to trade. So this would have been the high of day. See that? And you want to be bullish. Well, why? Well, because price is moving up. It's trending up from left to right. All right? You're making higher highs each day. You're inside. So you want to look to get long around a support that is close to the low of day. That is support, because it is the lowest bearish closing candle on an hourly time frame in this daily range. That's support. All right? And look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Literally the second best entry of the day. Where? Hourly support. Support. Boom. Nice. What's that price? Oh, this is Ethereum, not Bitcoin. That's probably an entry we took. So you don't want to be shorting the low of days, and you don't want to be getting long at the high of days. That's all. And if you don't know, like I said, use that. And all that indicator is over here. This is indicator strategies. Go down to technicals. It's the middle one, where it was the middle one until they put this thing there. Technicals. Go to the middle, which is volume profile, and use the session volume profile. Session volume profile. That is intraday volume. You want your daily volumes. That's it right there. Darken the box so you can see it, and it'll show you where the daily highs and lows are. And then you can make better trading decisions. You want to look for longs near the low of the day. So if you were going to get bullish on Ethereum, well, there, to be fair, you broke down below support. So this was a trap, right? So moving forward on Ethereum, as long as the next day, tomorrow, or even into today, I would be watching hourly closes for potential long entries at 1549.53. That is supply. All right? That is supply. So that's where I'd be looking for potential bullish entries moving forward. An hour close under it, and you scratch the entry. But right now, you're going to find a lot of people taking shorts here. So I wouldn't be trying to get long up there. You just got to wait till tomorrow or the next day or the next day. I mean, Bitcoin trades 24/7. The weekend usually sucks, but occasionally there are profitable trades to make. And YouTube is telling me that it's a good time to show my link. All right, so in the description, and I will, when I get done with the live stream, I'll also post it in the comment section. If you want to trade on Bitget, that's the exchange that I use because it has the cheapest fees in the world. And since I'm taking multiple entries, I like to pay less fees. Bitget's the exchange I use. There's a link in the description. It is an affiliate link. If you use it, make sure you use referral code XTSC. X-Ray Tango Sierra Charlie, and you have my many, many thanks. All right, now get out of here. That stupid pop-up box telling me to shill stuff. Now would be a good time to talk about your commercials. All right, thank you, YouTube. And maybe explains why I am where I am. No, books ain't gonna help you be a better trader. Actually trading and being bad at it for a long time and learning from your mistakes, that's what's gonna help you be a better trader. Yeah, 10,000 hours is what you want. You got 10,000 hours of something, then you become an expert at it, right? You need a lot of time, but you can definitely learn how to do this just by watching the videos that I have put out there. They are free and they are educational, and you see me operate this strategy day in and day out, and you see me absolutely crush these markets. All right. So yeah, no books. None that I can think of anyways. That will help. Late to video. Just wanted to say thanks. Thank you, Ryan. My day trading has improved immensely following you in the Discord. I highly recommend everybody joining it to learn. Yeah, you can learn a lot in there because I'm in there actively every morning. I'm not so active during the day, and in the late parts of the day, I do answer questions all the time. But I'm not looking for entries, as after 10 o'clock, I'm usually done for the day trading. So, yeah, it can help. You have 24/7 access to ask me any question you want any time of the day, 7 days a week. And I will answer them if I'm asleep when I wake up. All right. All right. Mod me next time, please. Do FOMC. Yeah, we will be live during FOMC. We've been live during the last two FOMCs. We will do it again. It's just the internet gods. I'm at their will, right? If they allow me to go live, I'll go live. Sometimes the internet's really good and it holds perfectly, and sometimes it doesn't. So yeah. My book is trading in the YouTubing influencer. Yeah. Yeah, not what I want to be. No. No, you guys are just. The email is on the website. Yeah. Yeah, if you go here, I'll show you where it is. Well, it might be different for me than it would be you. Yeah, if you go to the About Me section on my YouTube channel, you go to the About Me, my email is there. It's Trading Facts with a Q, FAQS, Trading Facts at gmail.com. Oh, no, sorry, it's with a K. I did that on purpose. It's with a K. Tradingfacts at gmail.com, but you can get it in the About Me page on my YouTube channel. And I will answer. I'm not very good at reading emails, so it might be a couple days before I get to it, but I will get to it. I promise. When I do open it, I do read them all until I get bored and then I quit. So yeah, it's on the About Me page in the YouTube channel. What is the name of the author Trading in the Zone that you talked about right now? I believe it is shit. I said his name earlier, but since you're asking me, my brain quit working. Jesse Livermore, I think. Or is it about Jesse Livermore? I don't know. I know Jesse Livermore is a part of the book. Mark Douglas, so I was wrong. It's about Jesse Livermore. Trading in the Zone is authored by Mark Douglas. That's right, Mark Douglas, and he's writing about Jesse Livermore, which went rich and broke so many times by trading. How would you apply your strategy for a more swing trading kind of strategy for lower management but same-ish profitability? Well, you're not going to get the same profitability because you're going to be using wider stops. So your position size will have to be smaller naturally. But as far as just being profitable, yeah, you can definitely swing trade the strategy. Instead of looking at daily candles, you're going to want to focus more on the weekly and monthly candles, quarterly candles. Yeah. You're going to be if you have a bullish bias on an asset, you're going to be trying to buy the low of the quarter or the low of the month or the low of the week, right? Or around the low. If you're short, then you want to do that around the high. Around the high. So, yeah, this strategy works 100% with swing trading. Like I'm in the Bitcoin position, but I got into it Friday. So I'm still holding that long. I do take day trades also, but there's 3 different sides to the Bitget platform. The Coin M margin futures, the Tether margin futures, and the USDC margin futures. So I'm able to grow 3 accounts at the same time. So I use my main account, take the position Friday. I haven't done anything to that other than take profits and move the stops. So now, if it continues to go higher, I will continue to make returns. And then I leave one free, naturally, or try to sometimes to be able to take, day trading opportunities. But the strategy doesn't matter. It's the same no matter what candlestick you are looking at. You could only look at 3-day candles. Only 3-day candles if you want. Right? It's the time frame is what makes it a swing trade. It's the time frame. Swing trades, generally, you enter a position and you set in the position for multiple days to weeks. A position trader is someone who looks for entries on a yearly basis, quarterly, yearly basis. And we just had Q4s open at the beginning of October. Remember, I said I was looking to get long or short for the Q4. And it would probably be long because it's the last quarter of the year. So you're going to have portfolio management going on. You're going to have people closing down short positions, getting ready for tax season. You're going to have people taking new positions, getting ready for the end of the year, stuff like that. And if you look at Q4, I didn't nail the low, right? But if you're a swing trader, that's what you'll be doing. Swing trader, you'll be looking to buy the low of the quarterlies. The low of this quarter is 18,131, and my lowest entry, damn it, did I take profits? Yes. My profit target I did take profits. I didn't hear the ding, so I didn't think that I had got hit. And I'm glad I did take profits because this thing is moving down. I did realize profit. But hang on, I'll tell you where my other entry is. See, this is why I told you guys to take profits up here. Because of this right here. You're at the open, and it's also daily resistance. That's where short sellers will show the F up. They will show up then. They trade just like me. Where is that entry? I mean, there we go. Boom. No, that's not the right one. Sorry. I'm on the wrong. Here we go. It was 18,740. So my Friday's entry got me in roughly, we'll just put a line there. And then we'll just go coordinates it. Just do the coordinates. 18,740. Yeah, that's at 18,740. So that's my long entry on Bitcoin for Q4. Okay? Is it the very low? No, but damn, it's looking much better, right? Like, would that be an entry that you would take on a swing trading basis? Getting pretty close to the low of Q4. Naturally, if this ends up being a bearish quarter, it's going to roll over and take us out. You know what I'm saying? That's the life of trading. We never know what's going to happen in the markets. All you can do, your edge will be finding the high probable areas to enter those trades and then using sound risk management principles to not lose too much money when you do enter those trades. And then naturally, you're going to know how to manage the trade itself. And that comes by, this is why I always take profits, because I don't know what the market's going to do. So if I do take a risk and enter risk into the open market, as soon as it moves in my direction, I'm starting to scale out of that position, because what I'm trying to do first and foremost is get my risk out of the market. Get that gone, right? And I do that by taking 2/3 of the position off when I'm into profit. Then I can leave the small piece on for any continuation that may happen over a period of a quarter or a year. If it continues in my direction, then yay. And I will make a lot of money. And I'm doing that with literally no risk to myself. It's just unrealized P&L. That's what I'm risking. So yeah, this strategy is designed to get you in roughly around the lows. Or if you're in a short trade, the highs. Today, you're already right back down to the below support. So people, I'm telling you, these freaking levels work. You don't need anything else. You don't need any of that hoopla garbage that's out there that people put 75 YouTube videos just to explain one freaking strategy. I can explain my strategy in 10 minutes. And look at the entry that you would have gotten taking a short trade. 10 minutes, I can explain that. All right? That's all you're looking for is profitability, right? If you would have taken the short there, you made money. Did I know it was going to work? No. You never do. It's about risk management. But the levels that I'm teaching you to watch, they are freaking legit. Look at that. Bounced from the low of day all the way up to that, and that's where it reversed. Boom. Later. That's why I took profits. Today looks like it's going to be a pullback day. You got a fresh low of day on the SPY. This is not bullish. It's never bullish when you're at the highs of the day and then you make a new low of day. That is not a bullish signal. That is a bearish signal. So depending on how bearish this thing ends up being, I should have took profits on this move, but it wouldn't have even been a 1-to-1. That's why I didn't touch it. Like I said, if I get stopped out, it's all good. It's all good. Today going to be a pullback day on Bitcoin and the S&P 500. So you might get a higher push on the dollar. If the dollar's not done and it wants to make fresh highs, well, I'll be stopped out of all my trades, and then I'll look to reposition in the opposite direction. But none of those trades will lose me money, not my money. I will lose unrealized profit, not my money. But yeah, fuck yes, for sure. You can use this for swing trading and any other kind of trading you want to do. I'm a swing trader. His style keeps you busy and helps find awesome spots to buy. Learned a lot. Yeah. Did you say Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas? I did. Yes. How about the 8 hour? The 8 hour is a good time frame to look at. I look at it occasionally. There's no supports on the 8 hour though. There is a support on the 4 hour, and it's down here. See, there's no support on the 8 hour. It goes all the way down to the breakout area. Like that weekly resistance where I took the entry, that's monthly support down there. The weekly support that I took my entry was there. So the 8 hour goes all the way back to there. If we get all the way back to there, then this is a fake move. Right? This is a fake bullish move. It's a bear market rally. If we retrace all this. Especially if we retrace all that before the weekly close. That will be a nasty bearish move. No, I think today's just going to be a pullback day. We kind of expected it this morning. I already tweeted about it. We were watching for support for a trade entry. We got it. It was a profitable trade. Now we are stopped out of it. Are we? Am I? Yes, I am now stopped out of that trade. Made a fresh daily low. So watch that 4 hour potential support. S&P 500 is there now. See, that's the support that I was watching on the S&P 500. You came down and tested it, and you got the bounce. The bounce was a profitable trade. But now that it's coming back down to the next 4 hour support, we'll see what happens. As far as the trend goes, you have broken down. That was an ascending wedge. Those are typically looked at as a bearish breakdown pattern. But I am not a pattern trader. So one could argue that now you just want to look for short entries moving forward. And if you do so, the first area would be 38.40. And the same goes for Bitcoin's case. You have broken down outside of this trend. Yeah, I kind of knew that wasn't going to work. I was hoping. I was going to try it anyway. Yeah. Well, one could argue that technically you've broken down from the near-term uptrend. So you would be looking for entries to the bearish side. I don't trade like that. But if you do, you can, right? Let me find you a level to watch. Beautiful. There's a spot. You just be waiting for potential pullbacks into 20614. And if you don't want to see any 2 hour closes above it, I still think this is just going to be a pullback day. I think Bitcoin is going to pull back, find intraday support somewhere else, and then go on up. It's a nice bullish week. And I mean, if you look at the weekly candle, you're not off that much. It's a pullback. It's a pullback. If you get all the way down to there, then you got to change your bullish bias. And that would have been a fantastic place for a short entry for downside continuation. Nailing the swing high. You see these swing highs? That's where you're looking for shorts. Had I not been bullish biased and already in bullish trades, yeah, I would have probably been looking there for shorts. We talked about it before the trade even happened. I told everybody to take profits. And that ended up being a fantastic short entry. All right. Yeah. I mean, no matter which way the market goes, I know where to look for entries, right? And that's what you want to learn. Why don't you create a copy trading account on Bitget? I don't know what it entails. 10%, is what I was told that I would receive. To me, it's not worth it. 10%. So I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I do have a Bitget representative, and we do talk every now and then, and I'm not, I mean, 10% on the entries is what I would earn, plus any profits that I make. But I mean, it's just, how much time is that going to take for me to do? Because I'm trading my own book, right? So like, I'm trading for my money to pay my bills. I really can't afford to take time out of that to do something else. Like, just the YouTube channel alone takes up so much time. It's insane. And since I make quite a bit of money, my time is very valuable. So like, when I get up and I leave my desk, I'm done trading, right? And I do that around 11 o'clock. The rest of the day is mine to do whatever I want. If I want to lay on the couch all freaking day and watch TV, that's what I do. If I want to go to the beach, that's what I do. So copy trading would take up some of that time. And if there's like, I mean, I would have to do it full time, right? I would have to put all of my funds onto Bitget's exchange and trade my book full time and let you all copy my trades. And on top of that, I would get an additional 10%. It's not really worth it. If they would make it sweeter, yeah, I would. But it's just, also, you get into a lot of trouble when people copy your trades because they want to blame you for their losses. Right? And I'm not saying that you would or any of you would. I just know that some would. Some blame me for their losses, and they didn't and I didn't even tell them to take a trade. That's just the way it works. But yeah, copy trade, I usually tell the Discord when I'm looking for entries. I don't tell them every entry because that's not what you're paying for. If this was a signal service, you'd be paying much more than $25 a month. $25 a month is less than $1 a day. It's less than $1 a day. And inflation, that dollar ain't worth very much. Less than $1 a day. That's what I make for the Discord. Less than $1 per day. So if it was a signal service, it would be $500 per day. It would be a lot more, or per month, sorry. It would be a lot more. It's not a signal service. What I do is I help people to understand this strategy better. And then when they start to understand it, like a light goes off in their head, and then they start making their own trading decisions. And, some people stay and some people go. That's all it's for. It gives me the access to monetize you asking me questions 24/7. That's it. That's what I set it up for, and that's as far as I wanted to take it. I do my own trading, and I trade my own book. So, yeah. I didn't start this stuff to be a businessman or a internet guru, right? I had to monetize my time a little bit, but yeah, I'm not doing signal services and one-on-one phone call. Like, I don't even know how to do, what would it cost? How long? An hour-long phone call. Do you really want to pay like $500 or $600 for that? Because that's like what I consider my time to be worth. No, just join the Discord. It's $25. If you don't like it in 1 month, you can cancel. You can quit, right? I don't take credit card info or nothing like that. You pay Patreon, and then I send you a link to the Discord. It's simple. It wasn't to make money. It was to offset the cost of time to do the YouTube and stuff like that. If it ever was to get really busy, or if the channel was to blow up, I would probably make it so expensive that people wouldn't want to do it. I don't want it to grow very big, because which the questions have started to slow down a lot. I think because I'm not as active in CTM anymore. I mean, I am to anybody that asks me questions directly. I do answer them, but the questions are starting to slow down a little bit. And now most of my members that I have been with me for a while. So yeah, It's right where I like it to be. I would have to hire people if it got much busier, right? I just never meant to make it a business, is all. But I mean, we'll see. We don't know what the future brings, right? We'll see what happens in the future. We'll see. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. Took profits. Good job, Will. That's the way to do it, my friend. Why do you, oh yeah, there's the copy trading. But yeah, the copy trading is the same, right? If I do that, yeah, it is what it is. I viewed a lot of the copy trades too, and there's a lot of copy traders that like they're making money, they're up, but their followers are not. So I don't quite understand that either. I never really got an answer for that either, because basically you're like it's supposed to do it for you. Like you're not doing it. You're not watching me take a trade and then you place the same trade. I don't think that's what it is. I think it's a bot that takes the position that I take. It uses your money to take the same position, but like why are they down and the copier is up? It doesn't make sense. I just got to look into it more. Let's end it with that. I just got to look into it more, and then we'll discuss that into the future. Um, yeah, there's a couple other YouTubers I think that do it. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure there's people you can follow. But if you want to make a couple trades a week, then the Discord's for you. If you're looking to take 57 trades per day, then maybe it's not for you. We look for the highest probable scenario to take place inside of each and every day. Once that happens, we're done. Yeah. Hopefully the people that got short took profits. Or if you missed a short trade, this is where I'd be looking to take new entries. But there was quite a bit of bullish momentum coming into that. So it wouldn't be what I'm. Remember, I don't have a bearish bias, but that's where I'd be looking for supply to hold. Right. But that would have to happen closer to 9:30 also. The time at which these trades take place matter. I got long again, brother. Did you get long at the liquidation of the low? Take profits. You're into hourly supply. I don't know that the day is going to go lower. I don't know that it's going to go up, but it is an area where sellers will try to jump back on top of this thing. I do like the fact that the USD CNH almost tried to stop me out on that last hour and then closed bearish. I like that. 6 minutes ago, did you see that? I thought for sure I was going to get hammered here. And then it closed bearish. Yeah, boy. Come on, roll over. I want to see this thing trading at 715 or 710 in the next couple days. Buy my book OnlyFans instead. That's it. That's Mr. Ed there. He is the admin or unadmin inside of my Discord. He didn't tell me about his book, but he has an OnlyFans where he shows you his feet. Love you. Ed's been with me for a long, long time. Ed was part of the Discord when there was like 5 people in it. I appreciate him. All right. Just now at the 2500. So basically you just waited for the liquidation of today's low and you got long again. It doesn't look like it's going to be an up day, but it could change. There's news that can come out in the middle of the day that can make the market go back up. That's why we look for the high probable day trades or early in the morning, right? From 7 to 10. That's where we're looking for entries. After that, we want to already have taken an entry and hopefully taken profits. So that way we got the rest of the day to do what we want. We don't have to stare at the computer monitor for the rest of the day. Right? I think that's why everybody gets into trading, is for the freedom it provides if you can do it successfully. But there's a lot to it that also goes with like a lot of married with children people. They have to maintain like $5,000 a week just to cover their utilities and stuff. Someone like that is going to have much more of a difficult time doing it successfully, learning how to do it, then ultimately doing it successfully enough to quit their job. But there are prop firms that will give you money to trade. All you need is consistent profitability. It does not matter how much money it is. If you can show a prop firm consistent profits for like a 2-year period, eventually they're going to give you enough money to where you can make that a possibility and still work. There's one YouTuber I used to watch a long time ago. I don't know if he still does it or not, but he only took Forex trades at the close of the day. And he works for a prop firm. He's a trader for a prop firm, and he's only a swing trader. He gets off of work, then he takes his trades, then he closes it down. Some make money, some don't. But consistently over time, he generates revenue, so he's doing all right. You don't have to use it to change your life to make you, work from home. You can do it while you work by using the weekly and monthly ranges. And, if you start making enough money to where you can do it consistently, then you can make that decision. It's all in all in what everybody expects to get out of it and what they put up to do it, what they're willing to sacrifice. And the one thing that you got to learn is they're not consistent returns. It is consistent over time, but like I don't have a set amount of money that I look to make in a week, right? I don't do it that way. I place my trades and whatever happens for that week happens. And then I move on to the next week. That's how I do it. The account just grows. When it's time to pay myself, I take funds out of the account and dump them into my checking account. Well, in Bitcoin's case, I just put it on cold storage. I don't use Bitcoin funds to pay my bills. I use the Forex markets and the stock market to do that. All right. He rents my room where he can stream his OnlyFans. Yeah. There's a lot of money in it. There's some young girls that are making a killing on OnlyFans. All right. You guys want to ask any more questions? Go ahead and get them into the chat because we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. We just basically wanted to see that print, and it was a solid one. Oh, wait, that's yesterday. We did get a 2.6% in the positive. So Joe Biden's going to be talking about how he did it, right? He did it. We're not into, and we're not going into a recession and all that stuff. But that is a positive number. And there for a little bit, the market did take it as a positive number. But then it went down and liquidated a low of day. We'll see how it closes. A green close today would be nice. That will keep the bullish bias alive. A bearish close, depending on how bearish it is, right? If you take out yesterday's low, then I will be bearish again. If you do that today. If you do that in 5 days, probably, I still will be bearish. I wouldn't like that so much. I want to see it continue with a couple of days of pullback and then another big expansion. Couple days pullback, another big expansion. I want to see it continuously rise, as that would show us that there is demand for the market and there is demand at higher prices. Friday, we seen a one order for 3.6 billion long on SPY last Friday. That is a big buy. So somebody put a ton of money in, and what they were doing was they bought Friday's low. So this is a good area to manage risk buy. So if the SPY gets back under Friday's low, which is here, let me get rid of all these. If we get back under this, then there's going to be that possibility that we see that nasty dump, right? Because whoever bought 3.6 billion here, I don't know how low it can go. I don't know what their, what their risk is, but that would put downside pressure on the market. So I would be looking to get short if we do get back under this, okay? So even though I have a slightly bullish bias for now, as long as we're trading above monthly support, I will hold that bias. If we get back under it, then I will be targeting at least this, and then these lows here. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, you did get a nice freaking bounce off of that liquidation of today's low. Look at that. Just drop down, liquidate the low of day, and then bounce. It's pretty volatile. That's pretty volatile. We like volatility, though. Volatility is profits. We like it. Meta and Baba. All right. That's Facebook and Baba. Let's go look at Facebook. Where did it go? All right. I'll just type it in. Screw it. All right. Let me get this fan on over here. All right. So Meta had a nasty day yesterday. It was due to missing earnings. Google missed earnings too, basically from YouTube. YouTube missed big, and that caused Google to sell off. So Meta is coming off a bit. Yeah, it came off a lot bit. That ain't a little bit. That's a lot bit. Big move lower. That's a lot of liquidations that occurred here. Big, strong move lower. I don't know. I mean, I would be watching today's open moving forward for potential long entries. I don't know how bad it was of a miss. 13.52%. That's a nasty move lower. But we do know that Facebook makes money, right? And that could be the final liquidation for this low. Could be. So what I would be doing moving forward on Facebook is I would be looking for 97.98 for potential long entries. Stop would be very easy. I would just at least get it under that low. You might not even come back in for a retest. That's a nasty move lower. So I do believe you will see this probably move higher to close the gap. It's not going to happen today. The gap closure will not happen today. More than likely, if it does occur, it'll be over a period of a few weeks. So for bullish entries, 97.98 or right at the $100 big figure. All right, the $100 big figure could also be a place to look, which as of right now, if you were to close right where you are now, that would put the 50% retracement of today's range right around $100. That's 99.62, but it's likely going to go higher today. Let me try to get it to where it'd be 100. Yeah, so watch the $100 area moving forward and today's open moving forward. $100 and 97.98 for potential bullish entries on Meta. Most Chinese stocks are getting absolutely just annihilated because of what's going on, in the world economy and over there in China too. They have a massive, nasty thing going on with housing. You remember when that company collapsed? Well, they're still dealing with trouble from that. A lot of stuff going on there. So I'm not a huge fan of Baba for now. Not until they get. Like, I haven't even heard of what happened to Jack Ma. Has anybody heard about him lately? Is he back? Did they find him? He was missing. He's the owner of the company. He's the guy that made it successful. So I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I would have to do some research. But there you go. You're at the freaking all-time lows on Alibaba. As long as this is the IPO'd. If that's the date that they IPO'd, You're about to all-time lows. So as long as they still make money, as long as they can still make money, then maybe it is a good investment over time. If the inflation rate starts to trend lower all across the world, not just America, because that's also going to affect Chinese stocks. But you know what I'm saying, right? Just do a little bit of research, find out what's going on. There's your all-time low. It seems like you would have liquidated that. So this might be another opportunity to see a downside move. It doesn't have to liquidate it. That could be good enough. The market determines what's good and what's not, right? And it doesn't do the same thing all the time. So it makes it difficult. Anywhere down in here, 67 and under, I think is a good place to be a buyer as long as the company's still making money. And according to their earnings calls, they look good. Since the bear market started, you've missed twice on earnings, but it doesn't matter in a bear market. Any pop in price is likely to get sold. And the bear market is still in full swing, full effect. So they're probably buying it in anticipation of a missing earnings. So if they're buying it Friday, November the 4th, that'll be 2 days after the Fed speech. We'll know more. But this might be a selling opportunity. If I do think that a company's going to miss on earnings, I do like to see it get bought up before the earnings call. As that does tell me quite a bit, right? That the market may be looking for that expansion lower to liquidate these lows. Then that would be a good area to be a buyer. Anywhere under that low. And then what was your other one? That was it. Baba and Meta. Perfect. If print was strong for growth, well, it wasn't, but if it was, doesn't that mean the Fed will be more aggressive with rate? Supposed to, right? Supposed to. You have the news and then the market's reaction to the news. So it really doesn't even matter to know what the numbers are to me, because the market's going to react however the market's going to react. It's going to do what it does. So yeah, typically that's what you would think. You would think that gives the Fed room to hike rates again. We know that they can continue to hike rates until the unemployment number starts to rise. That's what the Fed's watching, essentially, right? This is what they're watching. So this is kind of the metric that they're looking at to decide if they should hike again or not. So usually when you start hiking interest rates and in a high inflationary period, stocks and stuff, the big companies will start to lay off people. And then your unemployment numbers will start to rise. And the Fed had a target of like 4.5, I think, 4.3, 4.5. So somewhere in here is where they're expecting this to go. And it's still just not doing anything. So this should be going up, and it's not. So there's some data out there that's it's a very difficult time. Let's just say that. Very difficult for the Fed and those people. I'm just watching CPI. If it starts trending lower, then I get bullish. Then I will get bullish. Right? If it starts trending lower. If it gets right back up to 9, I'll be bearish. I'll be selling it. I'll still be a bear. I just think a lot of your bearish gains have already happened. I mean, this is a nasty move lower. I mean, just selling the 2022 fresh yearly high was one of the best trades of my life. That was such a massive move. So big. So big. So I think it doesn't make sense to really look for shorts down here. Up here, yeah, I could see, price getting back up to 29,000 and then finding enough supply to roll back over and make another leg lower. But down here, I can't really get so happy about taking a short trade. Yeah, there's a bearish target, but it's just, Yeah, the lower stuff goes, the more the demand will step up. People will be buyers of Bitcoin the lower it gets. It's just the way it works. And I say people, I mean investment firms and, brokerages and exchanges, people like that, big money. They will be buying it. Eventually, the bear market will end, and you will be in a long period of growth and a bull market again. This 2022 bear market is such an opportunity for people to change their wealth. It is insane. I mean, some of your favorite stocks are off 80%. All right? From the highs. Well, not Twitter, but Roku. I mean, this thing used to fly to the moon. 400, 500 bucks. It's off to 50. What a deal. You know what I mean? Like, what a deal. And that's like Facebook, they make money. Google, they make money. This is an opportunity to buy the dip. If you look at the chart, every time you had a dip, you wanted to be a buyer, even if it is a bear market. Even if you want to be a buyer. These things usually go up and to the right. Right? So we just don't know if this is going to be the low. It would be nice if I could tell you it was the low. I just don't know. But you can be a buyer at high probable areas. Right there. I probably told you to buy Amazon at monthly support. And look what happened this month. You got all the way down there and then bounced. Look at this. Monthly support. Price trades right down to it. Boom. Hits it and bounces. Now it is, to be fair, rolling back over because of a earnings miss. But it is what it is. This was the area to be a buyer. If it gets back down there again, be a buyer. What else is Netflix? Jesus, Netflix. They make money. Look at this. Remember when it was down here? I was like, yeah, this is a buying opportunity. This thing came off 75%. Look at it now. Just if you would have bought the lows, you'd be up 88% on your portfolio in a bear market. These things aren't going to stay cheap forever. I promise you that. And they will move up before inflation starts to go lower, because investors look for value. They're looking for value. Now, what metrics they use and what data points they use to determine what value is, we don't know. But I know one thing that's in line with all their metrics. Lower prices is value, especially on a company that is a good company that makes money consistently. Like, they're expanding, they're buying new technologies, they're investing their money in proper ways. Those companies are going to go right back up again. When? I don't know. But I know I'm buying some of these things. This was a fantastic buy on Netflix. This could still be a fantastic buy on Netflix. I wouldn't try it up here because you are in a bear market, and we'll know on the second if they hike a full 75 basis points and then say something like, yeah, and we're probably going to do it next time too, bitches. You know what I mean? If they come out and they're real aggressive and hawkish, this bull market rally gets sold right back into, and they'll be right back down at the lows again. But if they come out and they're hinting like little pansies, well, we just don't know yet, because then the market's probably going to get bullish. So this big bullish move could be looked at as a selling opportunity when the Fed meeting occurs, right? Because professional traders like myself, we are not going to sell the lows. If we want to take new short positions, we need a rally to ensue. That way we can look for those short entries. So this rally happening the week before the Fed meeting, it's pretty suspect. It is. I admit it too. I understand how this works. I know. But If the market's going to move up, there's no reason why I can't take my profits on the way up and then bounce and then look for shorts next week. There's no reason. There's no rules that says I can't do that. So for now, we're going to ride the wave to the up, and then we're going to hear what the Fed has to say, and then we'll make some more decisions after that. But a lot of these things, they were at fantastic places to be a buyer. Even if you make new lows, you can buy lower for the long-term hold. For the long term, 10 years from now, this is going to be fantastic to be a buyer. Even if you make fresh lows, just don't do it over leveraged. Just buy it with cash. That way you're safe. Don't buy it with leverage. Investments for long term aren't really meant to be levered up. Some are, but not all, right? Not all of your investments. The way people are doing it nowadays is they're all trying to buy these stocks at the low of 100x leverage or as much as they can get. Not a good investment strategy. O'Reilly made fresh freaking all-time highs all week. Like, this is all-time highs for this stock. This stock is not being treated like a bear market is here. Or if it is, it's being treated like a value stock. AutoZone, all-time highs, guys. That's all-time highs. These people make money, so any pullback on this is a fantastic opportunity to buy some in anticipation that the bull market will come back. It will. We're America. We will find an end to this. We will fix inflation, and then we will have a period of growth. And when that occurs, you want to be at the lows. You want to be in there at the lows. AMD, fantastic company. I'm buying this, right? These are stocks that I am buying. I'm not buying O'Reilly and Advanced Auto Parts because they're at all-time highs. I just basically keep these on watch. But all the other ones, I think you can buy. Don't buy with leverage. Just start picking up a few shares here and there. You're going to be thankful you did when the bull market starts, and you're going to be glad you got in around the lows. I mean, this is Art K. All right, she makes the investments of the high beta stocks. So when those high beta stocks start growing again, this thing is going to go right back up. Will it go back up to all-time highs? I don't know. But if it goes up even a couple dollars, I made money on my investment. So I think a lot of these things are going to start finding bottoms soon. And there's going to be more that go on there. I just haven't been messing around with it too much. So yeah, but now's the time to be a buyer of some of these things. Atom, yes, that's another one I like. I like Atom. I like it a lot. I think sometime in the future, as long as they're able to do what they want to do, as long as they're able to, do good job on their company, I think this thing could be trading for $100 one day in the next 15 years. So buying an asset for $13 with an anticipation of it hitting, higher prices, yeah, it's a good investment. I think Atom is a good one to hold for a long time. I do. Right now, it's going up with Bitcoin, so you should have been a buyer at support. If you want to buy these things, buy them at support. This is getting ready to be a trap. If it becomes a trap, meaning if you take out the candles high, which you're really close to doing today, then that's going to make this a trap. So any pullback back into $11 would be a buying opportunity for me. As long as it doesn't get there in one day. Momentum matters. How much momentum does it have going into the level? That's what matters. But yeah, I like Atom overall. I like it. I think it's going to be trading for much more money in the future. It's one of the good ones. For sure. You're coming into resistance now, so you can't be a buyer now. You just got to wait for support again. If you break out here, start watching this for potential support. It's old resistance. So if you do get the breakout, maybe a pullback into here will hold as support. But you can watch that on a smaller time frame, right? You can watch daily closes around it. If you pull back into here, maybe this area, anywhere from 1238 to 1280, somewhere in there, you'd want to see support build in, and then you would want to be a buyer in there, and you'll see if you get the move higher. A lot's going to be determined this, when is it? Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Next Wednesday, sorry, will be the 2nd. And then the 10th will be CPI. So a week after that, 8 days after, we get the Fed speech. We're going to get CPI. So we want a lower print. I don't know what the expectations are yet. It's not up there yet. So tomorrow it should be. Tomorrow I should be able to get expectations. I have heard a couple people say 8.3 is the expectations, and that's not good. We want it to go lower. We don't want it to go higher. Anything lower than 9 is still not good. We need it in the 7s and in the 6s. We need it trending lower. That's what we need. And then, but a lot of these things will already have found the bottom by then. They will find the low before inflation gets hit. Those two big buys, like I said, from that cheddar flow indicator thing, those big orders from on the S&P 500, that tells me a lot. I mean, if you were in charge of $3.8 billion, well, personally, whoever did that is in charge of way more than 3.6 billion, but they did it. They bought. And if they're willing to buy with big money like that, let me pull it up here real quick and then we'll wrap it up. So right here, let me get it smaller here. There we go. I just want this stuff to go away because it's blocking it. Oh, what did I do? Here we go. Shit. So right there's a 1 order at 364.60, 3.6 billion. And then here was 40 orders at 3.65, $365, 3.8 billion. Oh, and then the rest of them are small. Millions, 166 million, 73 million. Small, normal trading volume. This is big, boom, boom. 365, 364. So pretty much in the same area. Big orders coming in there. So that person has good data more than likely, or at least data that they like. So here's 365, Friday's low. Friday's open, 365. Big bids coming in right there. And then, so did they take profits? I don't know if they're traders or investors, but that's a big bid coming in there. So as long as we're trading above 365, I just look for more upside to choppiness to play out for the next couple weeks. And Bitcoin's also making a nice little move to the upside. So maybe the market's anticipating it. Bad news, then we'll look to be sellers. Again, that's how we do this. All right. Can you look at Builder, BLDR? I don't know if that's Builder. Yeah, it is a Builders. Yeah, it's getting a little bit of a bounce off of some lows. It's not the lows. This is trading sideways in a range. So when it's in a big range like this, you look for that to play out. So wait for either a breakout or resistance. If it gets back into resistance, watch for a pullback into the $56 area. You do have demand here. So 56.45, I could be a buyer if it pulled back into that area, or the support 54.53. I can't buy it here because it's getting ready to come into resistance, right? One could argue that it's in resistance now. So you got to either attack it for the short up around the top of the range or look to buy it at support, resistance. Oh, for the short, sorry. I screwed myself up. You want to look for either shorts around resistance or buys around support until as long as it's range bound. If it breaks out of the range, then you can look for pullback entries or higher low support for potential bullish entries. All right. Potential bullish entries. If you bought it down here, I think you're okay for a while. I wouldn't buy it at the highs. I wouldn't buy it at the top of the range. I did look at Adam, Mr. Cassidy. Are you often reluctant to add a position because of a lower P&L ratio? No, I'm reluctant to add to positions because in a lot of cases, you're trading into resistance and stuff. Like, I will keep those long positions on Bitcoin because I've already taken profits and my risk is completely off the table. So if I do get a nice pullback into an area that is support or that I'm looking for to be support, and that support holds, I will absolutely add to that position. 100%. Expecting the trend to continue. Yeah, for sure. But right now, it's still just too uncertain. We just still have too much unknown risk out there for me to get uber bullish, to expect a bullish trend to ensue, right? Right now, you're still very much in a bear market, and this could be looked at as a selling opportunity. So we need this to change. We need sentiment to change. And then we need to see that sentiment trend start to form. We need to see, higher lows and stuff. So you get an impulse wave or an impulse leg. The next thing you're going to be looking for is you're going to be looking for potential support. So I'll pull back down into here. And then if this holds as support and you get another expansion, then you can say, well, we do have a near-term trend beginning and we can look to buy supports. But for right now, this is a very small rally. In 2008, we bounced. In 2008, we bounced 14% once we made 20% lows. Once we had a bear market, remember on the SPX, whenever you're 20% off the highs, you are considered a bear market. So this low here, you're at 20%. So once we made this low and we're 20%, this rally was sustained for weeks, like 8 or 9 weeks. And it bounced as high as 14%. So a lot of people probably thought that it was over here, that it was, time to look to buy lower high supports, but the lower high supports never came. You just, you broke down. So, and this rally that we got right now off of the bear market lows, that we're off well over 20%. This rally right now is setting roughly at about 11%. That's enough to bring sellers back. Sellers will come back now, especially if they think that the world is going to end, especially if they are on the sell side. Your sell side only guys, they are looking at this as a bear market rally only. And there is no way this is the beginning of a bull market. No way, they say. You know what I mean? And they might be right. Only time will tell. Facebook spent $4 billion in 3 months in Metaverse. Yeah, they are now called Metaverse. They changed their name to it. Very fulsome answer to my question. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up, guys. Y'all have a fantastic day. Next time I see you will be Tuesday morning. We'll do another public live stream and we'll get right back after it again. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you all trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.